People pointing the fingers, one thing or another. You get your rear end in there and you play the way you know how to play. We can win the game. We're going to open it up. We're going to go fast tempo. Defense, get after Jordan Love. You can't give him that much time. You do what you're supposed to do, we'll win this game.
Yeah, check.
Yo, this JB the Cowboy fan, and yes, sir, I'm back with another one. And yeah, my topic to what I'm gonna speak on right about now. It more so right now what's going on with Dak and the talk about Dak contract and Michael Parsons contract. I know they're talking about CD Lamb with his. They're gonna sign CD Lamb. That's one I ain't even worried about. That dude's gonna get signed. But the number one contract I think is with a lot of trouble under is with Dax. But I mean, let's be real. Dak and Micah, they have elite games versus inferior competition. I'm like, when it comes to the big games, where they at? Where is Micah and Dak against superior competition? I mean, ain't that when you supposed to step up? I mean, I'm like, shit, both of them can go if you ask me. Shit, I already made a video saying that Dak gonna waive his trade clause. He gonna waive that trade clause because Jerry letting this shit fucking play out, and I think Dak gonna get frustrated by that shit. I don't think Dak. Honestly, I don't even think Dak gonna wanna play the season out. He might. It's just something telling me that he might not. But I'm gonna honestly say it looked more that he will play the season out. But I think if it gets if this shit get rough with these negotiations by August and shit, I think Dak will waive that no trade clause. And to me, shit, they still got what? Don't they still got Parsons another year? They can really wait on him. It's either Parsons or Lamb. They can wait to 2025. I think it's Parsons. But anyway, hell, right now, man, I give Parsons that goddamn Herschel Walker energy, bro, and get as many picks as I can for him. Even get a player for him. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's plenty of to me, it's plenty of linebackers or DN or whatever he want to be, you know what I'm saying, considered as. I think it's plenty of them that can do what Micah Parsons does because he's not a game changer. He don't take over games. So what is he really asking for in his contract, though? Okay, the numbers with his sacks, 13. I forgot what he got, whatever. But I'm just trying to see. He's definitely not on no generational talent. So he, just like that, and what I've seen over the years and really finalized it for me this past season, both of them guys freeze when the pressure is at its most. So how are you paying? I kind of can see where Jerry Jones and Stevie Jones coming from on this, because when you pay that type of money to players that step up in big moments, and neither one of these guys steps up in big moments. They don't. And the last 3 playoff games, and I don't care if people can say, There was just no playoff games in the defense. No. Isn't Michael Parsons a part of that defense? Y'all keep saying Dak didn't have the defense and the defense didn't step up against Green Bay. Ain't Michael Parsons on that defense? Ain't he a generational talent? I'm telling you, man, and the most important, even in a regular season, let's just say this. Just look at the games in the regular season that Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott play elite in. When they have elite games, look at the competition that they had those elite games against. They don't be against superior teams. They be weak ass teams. And Dak on the down NFC East, I give Dak credit for that. Because he plays good against weaker competition. You notice he beat up on Washington and the Giants, especially the Giants. Giants ain't beat Dak since his rookie year. Washington don't never really have a complete team with a complete quarterback, but it don't matter where Kirk Cousins go, Dak still beat his ass. So, I mean, but the Eagles, he got a winning record against the Eagles, but he battled back and forth with the Eagles. See, they're a little bit step up in the competition. See, he'll lose if he's lost a few against the Eagles. He dominate Washington and the Giants. He'll dominate them. He got a winning record against the Eagles too, but it's harder for him to beat the Eagles than it is to beat Washington and New York. So, and then even got down Micah Parsons. The good games, I seen one good game he had against a good team. That Micah Parsons, when we played Kansas City Chiefs, I think it was in 2019, we played Kansas City Chiefs. That man had like 3.5 sacks, a forced fumble, some other shit. He balled. I gotta give him credit. He balled his ass off again in that game. But what did Dak do in that game? That same game, Dak had the defense, and Micah Parsons and that defense stepped up. Held Kansas City to 19 points. They only scored 3 total points in the second half against Micah Parsons and that defense. Now, that was one game I seen, to me, in his fucking career against good, superior competition that he balled out. He balled out in that game. But that's only one in what? He been in the league 4 years now, 5 years now, whatever? Where is Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons against superior teams? What do they do against superior teams? What do they do against good teams in the regular season? What do they do against playoff teams? Man, it's a recurring thing with them two guys. They beat up on them sorry teams, have good games or so-called good games against sorry teams. But then when they play them, even on them good teams, or a team that might have some stiffer competition in the regular season, they don't do shit. They don't do shit against that stiffer competition in the regular season. And especially when it comes to the playoffs. Come on, man. Y'all see it. You can't say I'm sitting up here bullshitting the Lions. You can't say that. Because we've seen the last 3 years with Dak and Micah versus the 49ers. With Dak and Micah versus the Eagles. With Dak and Micah in the playoffs, which was against the 49ers. Yeah, they had that good game against Tampa Bay. And I hate to say it, but when it mattered most, and what was it, 2021, 2022, they played Tampa Bay, the first game of those seasons in Tampa Bay. One was in Tampa Bay, one was in Dallas. The Cowboys lost both of them. And that's when they had Tom Brady and they had a good defense and they had a good team because they had won the Super Bowl that past year. I think it was 2020, 2021 season they won that Super Bowl. And they came back the first game of each season of 2021 and 2022. And they played Tampa Bay the first games of those seasons. Well, it was Micah and Dak. Hey, Dak, who goes? You got an all-pro quarterback that went 12-5 3 seasons in a row. He's an all-pro quarterback that went 12-5 3 seasons in a row. But what the fuck does he do when he gets to the playoffs? Man, ain't that what it matters? Ain't that what I thought winning Super Bowls was the expectation? So just being relevant and just making the playoffs is the expectation? Well, if he needed a running game, he needed another wide receiver. That's all they talking about in the offseason now. That's all these content creators talking about. I hear this, that, man. Oh, man, the excuses. I'm tired of the fucking excuses for Dak Prescott. Since he came in the league, I made excuses for that nigga all the way up until this season because I said, this is a prove me season for Dak. This is a prove me season, bro. Let's see what this dude gonna do when the playoff time comes. And he proved exactly what it was. That's who he is, bro. He's gonna choke when it matters. And then he don't get no blame for the shit. It's always he didn't have a run game. It's always he didn't have a defense. It's always he didn't have the coaches. It's always he didn't have this. He didn't have that. Are you bullshitting me? Are you bullshitting me? Dak never had any weapons to be able to succeed. Okay. So we said this shit last season. Before this season popped off and they got their ass kicked by Green Bay. They were saying this last season and the year before. Okay? So it should be no goddamn more excuses for Dak this coming season. But it probably will be because we don't know what the Joneses is really going to do. You know, they ain't did shit in free agency. I don't know what the fuck they gonna be able to do in the draft to draft somebody day one. That's why I'm like, man, fuck that. You got Trey Lance. Fuck it, let's see what he can do. You ain't even gotta waste a high draft pick to give a first round draft pick quarterback any big money. Trade Dak Prescott. Or basically, I mean, I know they probably on the position where they're going to let it play out. But I wasn't paying. I wouldn't pay that. I'm sorry. I wouldn't pay. Most likely, I think they are going to pay Micah Parsons. But I'm out on this nigga too because just like Dak and what I've been saying, when it matters the most, he does not show up. In regular season against good teams, he don't show up. In the playoffs, you know you playing good team, he don't show up. But not that, but he's supposed to be a generational talent. He's supposed to be the next LT. Yo, these two guys are only good. They're only elite against weaker opponents. Let them boys play some teams that's better, that's good, on their level or better. I mean, I don't understand it. I kind of can see where Jerry will come. I can see why they might be. I know why they're hesitant, or that they're not going to pay Dak or give Dak that extension this season. I can understand where they at right now because I already made my videos about Jerry Jones getting robbed by Dak, and that shit he is not going to let happen again. That's why I'm emphatic about Dak is either going to have to play the season out because he's not going to get that extension, and he won't be here next season, or he's gonna have to waive that trade clause. So they can just do this shit now, or what have you, or whatever. But Michael Parsons is supposed to be a generational talent. He's supposed to be LT. Yo, this JB the Cowboy fan. Y'all like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for listening to me. Let's go, Cowboys.
Yeah, check.